Hi, how's it going?
Hello,
Yeah,
how are
yeah.
you? Hi.
Do you hear me well, right?
Sorry?
Do you hear me well?
Oh yeah, I hear you well now. Yeah.
Yeah, so we will wait for Camille to join.
Okay.
And meantime, I can review your
Dedent.
yeah the dent. Yeah,
Uh
so
yeah.
you wanted to say something?
Oh yeah. On the dedent one,
Mhm.
the issue I have, so like I sent you a message on Slack. I sh
Ah, okay.
the error.
Uh, uh, widget 10. It's not in thread. Okay, I see. Ah,
Like you know how in that 2976 we are removing dedent to use dedent string in the printer. That's why we are making dedent string, right?
yeah. I need to look at it. Probably
Okay.
not on the call.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like stop. So it's filing or failing. I don't see like any files in.
Oh
Ah, be,
no, I removed that commit now. I removed it.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a commit that where you start using it. So you need to still use string raw,
Yeah.
but you need to wrap string raw with the dent without array. So you need to remove like
Oh,
square braces. You still need
okay.
to use string raw because like string raw basically um, and if somebody actually watching that on YouTube, it's like we discuss in PR
Yeah.
3000. Yeah, because it's yes, like few dozen people actually like looks like watching that. So yeah, so string raw basically mean you don't need to escape stuff.
Okay.
So it's kept in so like for example you have slash t.
Yeah.
If without string raw slash t is replaced with actual tab.
Okay.
So instead of two characters slash and t in resulting string you get like actual tab
Oh, you see.
as escape sync. But string raw change with behavior is basically say like if you have slash t it will stay slash t.
Okay.
So like the dent is not solving that issue. in that
Oh,
particular Yeah, in that particular test we like needed two things. We needed like um, raw characters
yeah.
and we needed the dent at the same time.
I s Oh,
Actually, like interesting question.
yeah.
Mm, Like we don't really need ES6
Didn't.
literal. Like anyway, anywhere it's look like.
Yeah. Like these are not escaping anything in the
Yeah,
usage.
and like so we can totally remove like
String raw.
Yeah, we can remove e6 tag
Yeah.
and use the dent, like rename the dent
This.
string to the dent
Okay.
and use it through source code.
Oh yeah.
I
Then we
actually
don't
like,
even need this PR, I guess.
yeah, like you know why there is why people need e6 tags. It's like when you have like some special behavior, like you interpret variables inside interpolation variables with like dollar and curly braces. If you
Oh,
interpret them differently, that mean. By the way, I like next time I can just stop recording until everybody comes. Like,
okay.
do you have Camille on Slack or something? Can you ping him because I don't have his? I don't think I have him. Maybe he
He's
confused
offline.
like time zones or.
Or is he on the other one? Because I think Brian changed the meeting links from this one.
Ah.
Because earlier we were in the GraphQL working group Zoom. Now we are in like GraphQL.js one.
But I use like a link from
The calendar that should work for everyone.
no, actually from agenda.
Okay, yeah, that should work because he updated all the links. So
Huh.
I
Mm,
messaged him.
yeah. So, like, let's start from like because I have like only 52 more minutes, like 1
Okay.
hour top. I need to run after this call, so
Oh, okay.
I will open agenda and we will
Let's go
start.
with. Okay.
So actually, like we planned 3 hours. Oh, okay. So. mm, yeah, like by the way, did you sign like membership agreement,
Yeah.
participation, and
Yeah.
all this? Okay. So like if anybody watching this YouTube recording and want to join, so like you need to sign membership agreement, participation guide, and other stuff. I can actually share my screen. I think
Uh,
it would be like I will share it anyway for like
Others.
yeah for other discussions. Mm, yeah. So yeah. So here and share screen. And for now, I will share just I think this one. Yeah. Yeah. So I share my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, and hide floating. By the way, do you know how to move this? Oh, okay. I just can drag it.
Oh.
Okay, because I have like this floating panel at top and it's
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I don't see like text. Yeah, so for anybody watching, like you need to sign these documents and you can find it as agenda. And second thing is introducing attendees. I will probably stop sharing screen for a second. Yeah. So uh, I'm first on the list. So hi, my name is Ivan. I maintain GraphQL.js. Help to maintain GraphQL.js. Um, that's all. So next.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sahaj, and I also help Avan with GraphQL.js and currently working on TypeScript migration.
Yeah, and we're waiting for
Camille.
for Camille. Yeah, and I lost my I lost my Zoom window.
Oh.
Strange. Yeah, I need to learn. Yeah, I lost it somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So I see like screen share, but I was okay. Anyway, uh, and you see agenda, right?
Yes, I see the agenda.
Okay. So next topic not taken. We don't actually do not
Yeah.
take. At some point, if we have like a lot of people and like yeah, we need to start doing it. Like review agenda. So 1600 to do items, GraphQL, uh, some PR.
This is I think, yeah, this is the migration one.
Yeah, yeah. If like for future, can you just like prefix it
Give the
like
name.
with the name?
Okay. Okay.
Um, because without clicking a link, I don't know what with
Okay.
like discussion, the like review and
I
discuss
see. Yeah.
PRs, discuss documentation, and yeah, what to do with docs. I actually have like some ideas on that. And last one, which is interesting, and we never discuss it, so yeah, would be interesting. Maybe you can show how other projects do that if you have
Okay.
a good example. So since there is nobody else, I think we can
Start.
just yeah. One thing we can do to improve it is like to actually ping people to open an issue and ping people. Yeah. So maybe
Should we?
yeah. On the other side, like basically TypeScript conversion throws all other activities on a repo.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to yeah. Hopefully after TypeScript conversion we can like do stuff in parallel. For example, like migrate to jest and like do
E-
documentation. So it's more easier for people to like migration to jest is unrelated to doc generation. So
Yeah.
like people can work on like two different things. Yeah. So let's start previous meeting action items. I think I closed one and actually clean maintainer list on GitHub. It's done.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So I remove like um, done,
Few dozens.
accounts. I think like we had like 60 people and
Oh wow.
yeah, I remove like basically it's like it was legacy from Facebook. Uh,
Yeah.
I didn't remove like people who at least like committed something at least once,
Okay.
but I remove like people who never commit anything,
Okay.
and it was like a few dozen people. I think like it might be in like and nobody protests about that. So in like half a year, I think we can uh, figure out how
The other
next
ones.
set of people to remove.
Okay.
I think it's good security practice to remove people with accounts. If you just add people and never remove them, we will end up with hundreds of people,
Yeah.
and it's easier to compromise. Uh,
Yeah.
Create entity. Yeah, I need to do that and contribution guide. I think
Yeah.
after TypeScript migration, we actually like simplified it,
Yes.
especially like stuff about flow. But yeah, we need to write it and create. Yeah, I think like about SOA, it was discussion and uh,
Yeah. This is where we enable the discussions on the repo.
aha. So okay.
Yeah. This is on the agenda. We will talk about it.
Okay. We will talk about
Yeah.
it. Okay, sounds good. So return back to review action I discuss 1600 to do items.
Yes.
So let's mark if we might actually like I think you can just click. So
Mm,
uh, not done.
not done yet.
By the way, like to clarify for everybody who watching it, like we planned to have this meeting 1 month ago, but I catch COVID, so I disappeared. I didn't do any coding like for 3 weeks, and so like I failed to deliver a lot this month because like if you disappear for 3 weeks, when you return, you get like huge amount of PR issues and like work issues related to my main job. So yeah, but next one, like after this meeting, I expect we do a lot of progress. And actually, like thanks to Sahid, we did have a progress. So mostly like support his activity, like review him, help him with stuff. Uh, s- so my goal for like last couple of weeks of this month. Before that, I was sick, but last couple of weeks, my main goal was to not to block Sahid. So I didn't do a lot of stuff personally, but at least I tried not to block him too much. So yeah, uh, we didn't do that. We didn't merge.
Yeah.
We didn't release work. Didn't done yet. So we actually blocked on everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like so next is 28, 28.
That's the PR.
Yeah, so we can discuss 28, 28 there.
Yes.
But for that, uh, this one is not part of 28, 28, and it's actually blocking. So I started to before that. I think like we need to do a scope. So I started. Uh,
Okay.
uh, I don't remember this one. So,
Oh, this is very old.
yeah, yeah. So actually, like we can remove some maybe types. I
Okay.
don't know if it's worth it or not. Like I think we shouldn't put too much on in like 1600 scope
Yeah, we can do
because
in
it
like
will.
next one.
Yeah, yeah. It's like really nice to have
Yes.
feature. So it's like with TypeScript we have this maybe ugly maybe wrappers around everything.
Yes.
So potentially we can remove it for a lot of stuff, especially for output types. I think like
Yeah.
for output types, we can partly implement it. For output types, we know what we return, so we
Yeah.
can remove it as non-breaking change. But
Okay.
for input types, we actually need to check.
Breaking change.
Yeah, to do breaking change. And especially it's nice to break and change. So if you're not using TypeScript, everything would work fine until like certain situation. You
Yeah.
cannot. So, for example, if we forbid to pass, uh, if we forbid to pass undefined,
Yeah.
uh, forbid to pass like no, or forbid to pass undefined, and person is not using TypeScript or not using TypeScript with strict null check.
Okay.
He like this person wouldn't get any like error or anything. Uh, so stuff can work the same way. For example, like to provide funny unrelated example. I spent some time figure out why didn't um, why didn't work with like a single string as argument,
Yeah.
and it's worked just by coincidence because we like treat every character as a string and concatenate it.
Yeah.
So like even in our code base there is like some stuff like that. So yeah. Um, so idea is to have like a milestone,
Okay.
and I will quickly trash stuff and like call stuff and put few stuff here, mostly
Okay.
PRs, not issues but PRs, or like issues that related to TypeScript migration or can be fixed by it.
Okay.
So I think we need to have like two milestone. Oh, not new issue. Like two milestone. Like
Post and
we, we should have like 16. I think alpha post test conversion. So yeah. So
we
basically,
already have that. Yeah.
yeah, I will trash stuff in like two categories,
Okay.
and 16.1.0 and like somewhere in the future
Okay.
category. So like everything which is not breaking
Yeah.
can go here, and
Okay.
everything which is breaking should go to post uh, post 16.0.0.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's tough to do for me. So we'll have clear scope of what needs to be done for
Okay.
that point. And if I have something big, I will create an issue for that to track it. So to have actual list. It's like action item for me is the stuff that I need to do. So to have like to, to be able to track what is missing, because right now it's look like everything is ready to do release.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would estimate it like to be realistic, it's like 1 week or something,
Okay.
because it's like two free PRs and like few issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, uh,
This is
I kind of
probably a.
yeah, I kind of like partly work on it since I try to solve instance of issue,
Oh,
seeing how
okay.
instance, so it's kind of related. But instance of is like can be a breaking change in some shape. So I want to
Oh.
experiment with it here. Yeah. So to move quickly to 2028. So can you update on that? What
Oh.
the current status?
So current status on this one, we so Camille opened the pull request, so we got a few things from that one. If we go to
Yeah, which ones?
yeah, we cherry. It was a big commit, big like it was just one commit, so we extracted a few pieces from that one to fix type issues, and some of them we cherry picked onto main because
Mhm.
they were potentially breaking in some sense. So those were cherry picked to main. Now all that's left is just rebase this one once everything that's breaking on main, like every breaking change, like the pull request Ivan mentioned, like once those get into main, we just need to final rebase this one and we should be good to merge. That's yeah, because yeah, I started comparing the DTS files, and from those we merged like few pull requests. We updated DTS files on current main because those were outdated, and then yeah, so once there are like two, three more PRs that need to be merged into main before I can actually rebase this one again.
Mhm. Yeah, and I need to, I think I wanted to update dependency, and updating dependency is painful. One thing I can help you with, uh, we need to figure out how to generate declarations. And for now, we can, um, I had this idea, we can separate. Yeah, I think we can discuss it in the chat. So I have
Okay.
idea how to help you with DTS files.
Okay.
By the way, it's like huge effort, and thanks for volunteering. It's like it basically allows us not to. So like for everyone not in the context, what Sahid is doing right now, and ask him to. I think it was one of the action items is to compare DTS files,
Yeah.
compare and remove DTS files. So we have like originally people maintain bunch of DTS files indefinitely typed. Uh, 2 years ago, I think we adopted it. So I moved them from definitely type to our repo. We update them and keep in sync. And now, since we're switching to TypeScript, we can finally generate them. But at the same time, some fix and even features was added to them. So we can incorporate this. So if we just like remove DTS files and just generate them, we will lose with like features and fixes. And as recently we
Oh yeah.
discovered with Sahid, yeah, some we have some features, and for some of them, like we have integration test, but integration test wasn't really testing anything. So
Yes.
it was a good way to first not to lose this feature. And I speaking about extensions, about adding like typed extensions through TypeScript feature called declaration margin. So we not only improve the integration test, we not only like keep this feature, but we also improve our integration test to actually catch it. So
Yeah. Pull request 3007 was merged yesterday. That's
yeah.
that's the issue.
So from my action items, I need to first like yeah figure out like a plus sign. It's like small change,
Yeah.
but I want to understand why it's like solving stuff, and yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's basically related to covariant invariant. I think
Oh.
I think I can add like stuff that related. Here is aggregated errors because it's uh, um, yeah. So some of some of Camille commits it fixes stuff caused by us using like little bit strange pattern of returning value or error or it's huge pairs. So my
Yeah.
yeah, so I wouldn't try to open this PR like this commit, but uh, generally idea is not to increase number of workarounds. So and in a sense, it's actually helpful. So some complex things was working in Flow, but not working TypeScript. But for the most part, it mean like these things was overly complicated or like workarounds and hacks. So we need to remove them anyway. So instead of like creating hacks in TypeScript, especially if hack in multiple ways or require adding new functions, I prefer like to spend a day or something and fix it properly. The same way like we discussed the dent string in the beginning of this call. So, uh, Sahid, do you remember anything else that I promised and which is blocking this PR?
Uh, Let me see.
I think like yeah, as part of this PR, if we remove DTS types, we need to generate them.
Yeah,
Uh, uh,
I think yeah, that's the next one I have to do.
yeah, I can help you
Generate.
with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can figure out some temporary scheme where you have uh, like manual typings in separate directory, and you can easily diff
If
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, for a time being until you finish. Even like if you want, you can even commit shell script that you use to clean up types into your PR,
Okay.
and later we can just remove it.
Okay.
But first thing we need to do rebase, and for that
Yeah.
I think like yeah, it's worth to wait until I match like couple of PRs
Yep.
and do rebase and figure out this stuff to generate generate declarations. Yeah, I think like it's not as simple because probably we need to use TypeScript API because I don't want to have another test config to
Yeah.
experience tests and always think. Plus, I want to run prettier on typings. I want typings to match source code. I think it would be it's something that's worth to uh, invest. Yeah, return back to agenda. Uh, yeah, I
Uh,
make mistake. I need to open it in separate tab. It will be faster. Yeah. So, so next agenda item. Uh, yeah, and do you have like anything idea or how to improve this process in general? I think we can discuss technical details in PR or in Slack, but how
okay.
to, do you have ideas maybe how to improve overall process?
I think it's going fine so far.
Okay,
We yeah, it's working out well.
so RFC flow types, 28, 52.
Yeah,
Uh,
like what do we do with the flow types now? Since we are talking about generating DTS, what happens?
yeah,
We haven't come to any conclusion on if we are moving to flow type and donating flow types or
yeah. I think like we need to answer this question. I answered it previously, but I never wrote answer here.
yeah,
So uh, no, how to yeah create action item for me uh, uh,
get
on
started.
punctuation. I don't want to like live answering, but
Yeah,
because I want to spend some time figure out. And I will tag somebody from Facebook and ask if it's okay. Um,
okay.
answer answer RFC about actually like if we have action templates, it's for
Yeah,
action.
we do have. We are just to
Okay,
get started.
yes, so that one, uh, that one about photos,
Yes.
and tag right engineers incorrect. Yeah. So assigned to me and here and uh, I will do I will just keep RFC here in source. I
Okay.
don't have nodes, so this is yeah. So yeah, idea is as we discussed to donate it in first like clean it up and when donate it to definitely typed and it will like gradually degrade, but it will be valid for 16.0 for 16xx line. It's just like we'll miss a new feature that we add past TS conversion. Hopefully, we don't need to do any breaking changes. And if we do, we should keep it to minimal and update flow types at the same time. That's why I want to push as much as possible breaking change before TypeScript conversion, not after. So uh, yeah, I lost agenda one more time. Maybe yeah. Need to learn how to use tabs properly. Yeah. So um,
Yeah.
maybe do have like better ideas how to do it.
I think in earlier calls, someone from Guild talked about like generating them from TypeScript files.
Let's do a quick uh, quick check. npm now uh, show user based for I expect is degrading.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So beyond Facebook, I don't really feel like uh, it's no, it's
Wait,
different
this is
package.
wrong. This is
Yeah.
wrong.
Uh,
Flow,
what's the name of the package?
flow typed or just flow.
Flow is like going here.
Huh.
So
Let's go to Facebook, GitHub, Facebook, and see.
yeah, flow bin.
Oh, flow bin. Okay.
Yeah, flow bin.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not 21,000. Should be a bit more. Yeah, but
Yeah.
compared to
TypeScript.
yeah TypeScript, and I expect like a lot of them are legacy users. So we can look at the versions and see number of people using the latest versions. So it's like really small. It's mean
Yeah.
like people stuck with like not updating for last I don't know like a lot of months, a year even. Like it's really small numbers. So it's look like it's mostly legacy projects. So legacy projects, if they not updating flow, they will not update GraphQL.js in a sense. So I
Yeah.
don't think it worth to. We don't have a lot of resources, so I think we should use them wisely to generate docs or to convert to JS or
Okay.
to move OSP into GraphQL.js or like other big projects.
Okay.
But we have really complex IP. I don't think like we can easily convert
Generate full
those.
types.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
it will be some issues. Plus, flow constantly like releasing new version and changing the syntax, and we need to maintain it. And the biggest problem with flow, if we provide flow types as part of 16.0.0, we need to maintain them until
17.
until 17. Like we can say we can stop updating them, but it's will still like I will feel bad about that.
Mm.
And yeah, plus
Yeah.
like imagine so we would need to run tests on flow typings, at least like some integration tests.
Yeah.
If somebody did something and break flow type, first I need to tag a person, send PR saying you should also update flow, but at the same time there is no good way to test flow types,
Yeah.
but you need to update them correctly. And another thing is like if somebody even wrote flow types and break integration test, it's like hard to figure out. Like, generally, not solving our biggest pain point mm, of like make it easy for people to contribute.
Okay.
So I need to open them and
New tab.
yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. This is after 15.5, this issue. So,
Yeah.
do we
So
need to patch this or something? Because people are saying that it's a bug on 15.5 somehow.
okay. So I think like one usually a rule of thumb, it's not the biggest rule of thumb, but usually it's a rule of thumb that if one if it's break one person,
Yeah.
it's not like critical issue.
Okay.
But there is another comment that I missed. Yeah, I need to review it. Initially, like it was another issue with one,
Yeah.
and I closed it. This is
Oh,
not an issue, so I assume it's like the same. But at
same.
least like
Okay.
I need to review it. But it's for 15.
Dot five. Yeah.
Yeah, assign myself as the reviewer. Uh, so it review. I think it's like yeah, because I did that change, so I have a context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, plus,
Next one.
uh,
Oh, yes. This one is interesting.
uh,
So they're talking about enum validation.
yeah, it's related to general, like there is a big effort by Benji uh, to change how default values are handled.
Oh, okay.
So I think and I need to, yeah, default value
These
hash.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, I will keep the tabs and I will answer what basically. So short, long story short, right now we It's part of SDL.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, in that case, it's like, it's part of SDL. We can validate them.
I
It's like
mean,
hard
yeah.
issue. Actually, it's like hard issue.
Oh, okay.
Like it
Is
definitely
it?
not in the scope of. We're totally missing with that validation. It's not like
Oh, we are missing this completely then.
completely. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
idea that we validate using IST, and to
Yeah.
validate default value, we need to actually have build types.
Oh, okay.
So it's like actually require us to redesign like entire validation thing.
Oh, okay. This is
I,
bigger than
yeah, I have some ideas how to do that, but
post TS,
uh, yeah,
post 16. Yeah.
I think like do we have like 16 0? I think like
16 1. Yeah, we have 16 1 0, I think.
yeah 16 1,
No. Uh,
for 1600. Yeah.
yeah. That's,
Yeah, I think it's better because if we put like one, it's mean like we promise it in one.
yeah.
We promise it. I don't think we can try to make it non-breaking.
Okay.
Let's try. Another thing, it's like this thing related to validation. I think like
Okay.
Christopher, there is like different type of fixes. A fix that is easy is related to that functionality. Fix that I want to do and fix that is harder is like is require like rewriting bunch of stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, let's postpone it. But you're right. We need to. My one of the problems is that I know the answers to what things, but I don't write them.
Yeah.
So it's in my head, and if somebody asks me on Slack, I answer them. But for rest of the people, it's look like this issue abandoned or not planned, and nobody sure
Oh,
what to do with it. That's why I want to do like triage before, and, and I promised to answer it. So I just like closed it, and I will open it to answer it. So and to clear a market. Yeah, discuss documentation.
yes. Documentation issues have been popping up these
Uh,
days.
browser example.
I guess
Partly,
this, yeah.
yeah, partly there is like Daniel created PR.
Oh,
It's in RFC stage, but yeah, it's huge. I don't know why it's so huge.
okay. Yeah, it is.
But idea that inside integration test, I think like documentation about using like Webpack or I don't know what this person actually asking, just to be sure that I answer like his question.
They're
Uh,
asking in a browser example where we can use GraphQL.js, I think, if I understand it.
yeah, like actually, like we need to clarify because there is like two things. If this person just want to know how to use GraphQL in browser or GraphQL.js in browser.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. And
No,
it was like
we went through
graphical
GraphQL. Uh, no, I think like he actually asking a question about
GraphQL.
JS
Okay.
because he say like I work with graphical. So I think he mean how to configure Webpack and how to like
Yeah, probably that.
do other things, and you can look into graphical repo.
Yeah.
But what what I think is the better solution when to create like a docs, because docs will be outdated quickly. We
Yeah.
can make integration test for like Webpack, at least for Webpack, because it's the
Okay.
most popular option.
Okay.
So and there is like few gotchas you need to do, like to define node and to do other stuff. So I would I would say, but I also think it's
Post 16.
yeah, plus 1600. Yeah, and you reference it from
It's the
somewhere.
same issue.
Yes, so yeah, you're right. It's like GraphQL.js, because first issue, this one is actually better. Um, yeah, so uh, you can,
And yeah.
if you want, you can mention like with RFC for integration and say like we want to do stuff like that
I
with
think that user does not exist.
anymore.
It, yeah, if you go to the pull, if you go to that issue, it says ghost, and ghost is a deleted user.
No, no, it's like,
Okay. No, it replaces a deleted account on GitHub.
oh, really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know about that. Okay, so funny part is have like bunch of followers, which is
Yeah, which is very interesting to see.
okay. So uh,
I don't know
probably
if it will answer anyone anything, but yeah.
so yeah, that's why we cannot ask this person. But okay, but at least we can properly name
Yeah.
it. And we stuff
Scalar
about
type
documentation for GraphQL. Yeah, we need to.
update. Yeah.
One thing we can do uh, is we can do some preparation work for doc generation, because I
Okay.
like actually I think we need to add this to a list for 1600 list. We need to add generate docs like in very simple form. We can do like simplest doc
Simple
generation.
TS doc. Okay.
Yeah, simple test doc. But since we did a bunch of breaking changes
Yeah.
after like somewhere, make it 13, 14. Somewhere here we need to generate basic docs with tsdoc. I think it's called tsdoc.
Yeah.
So without this, like since we did a bunch of breaking changes, it would be problematic.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think generation with tsdoc is not that complex. Um,
Yeah, I did try to play with it a little bit. It's straightforward, I think.
yeah, one thing we can do in parallel and is I copy this folder
Yeah.
with the idea that we don't want to lose we don't want to lose any content.
Okay.
So what would be helpful um, if somebody, I think it's not that big because like a lot of stuff is missing. Just go through our tsdoc and check that all examples and all like stuff is there,
Okay.
because these docs are manually written. So here we can have like some. some like some valuable stuff which is
Okay.
not in GSDoc currently.
I
Uh,
see.
and it will actually solve problem of people creating PRs against IPR reference. So what one of the goals would be to remove IPR reference files,
Okay.
and for that we need to check that everything is present in GSDoc.
Okay. So like comment our code basically based on our.
Yeah, so like as an example, go to SRC errors, and there is like a small example and for formatting GraphQL errors, and we have like it's here, and if yeah, you see like it said formatting only one line, and
Yeah.
here
It's
you
a
have
okay.
yeah, so we can, and it's like valuable addition that you can use GraphQL slash error or GraphQL,
Okay.
and for example, even for example, it's like good that not having for example, or like go to like GraphQL error and check that. Uh,
That TS doc.
yeah, check that we have like two sentences, and here maybe we have the same two sentences. Maybe we have actually three sentences.
Okay.
Some of them like is not valuable anymore,
Yeah.
but I think like yeah, since it's like very small documents, I think it's like easier to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will review it and I I will review it and merge stuff that is valuable and makes sense.
Okay.
And we can remove this thing, and because it's kind of stupid, we have it. It's like
Yeah.
duplicate tense in another repo, and we also don't match PRs against it. So people willing to help, willing to update it. Yeah. For guides and for tutorials, I'm like, since we will use it,
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with like merging stuff. But
Okay.
for yeah. And yes, so I will after this call probably tomorrow there is like working group, main working group, and I need to prepare for it.
Okay.
But I think like and on weekends I will review this list once more and check that I answered like every issue you pointed,
Yeah.
and like tag them properly and like explain current status because yeah.
Makes sense.
Um, One of the issue it's like I have I think in my inbox I have 800
Okay.
notifications I need to go through. So I will try to clean it up and to react to stuff faster.
Okay.
Uh, last item, and I think I can give you host if we have something to show about discussions, because I'm
Oh.
not in context. I
Okay.
could make you co-host or something,
I can
participate.
share the screen, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So in here, we discussed if so, like on our main GraphQL.js project, some things people ask are just questions in general, like just like how to use things or something our docs are missing, which is one of the main reasons.
mhm.
I remember like we closed the issue where someone was asking how to use something or or like even like requesting new examples or something, which does not make sense to be just an issue on our repo. Like
Mhm.
GraphQL, like this issue tracker should just be for tracking issues. I think
Mhm.
like for keeping the developer flow in, because that's what we discussed in our working group. Like here, I think
Mhm.
like we are discussing that having issues should be just for like developing or like someone having issue compared to like that's why GitHub made discussions. So
Yeah,
if,
one
like
to interrupt you, I
yeah,
have like some context on that. So idea is that if we part of the thing is not only mechanism but resources available. So if we start forum somewhere, we kind of need to moderate it and we need to like provide some answers.
okay,
So why issue template have with like with sentences is that imagine situation somebody open an issue asking for help and you're not answering it for a month, which is bad.
yeah,
So technically other users can answer and help this person, but it's just not happening. So it's easier to just say this person sorry, but try to use another resources and you will have more luck
okay,
than to this person like. So a part of the thing is not like issue having question as issues, it's adding like a lot of headache and notify a bunch of people who are not really interested in like questions.
yeah,
But so it's one issue, and another issue is that if we start discussion, I thought about starting enabling discussions,
yeah,
but thing here is that somebody needs to answer discussions.
that is true.
Yeah, so if
Which
you volunteer to um, to do, and you can always ping me, so
okay,
you can like the same as you do for issues, you can
yeah,
send me and I can answer it with like complex stuff,
yeah,
but basically you need to like read through discussions and you need to moderate and close and
okay,
relate it, and if somebody asks a question that already answered, you need to point to correct question. So all this stuff.
okay,
I think I give you trash role, right?
yeah, yeah. I can answer and close issues. I mean, I
Okay,
can label and close issues. Yeah.
okay. So that's why yeah. So what's your plan with discussion and what's your volunteering to do? It's like that's why I make this preamble.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like looking at like Docker source repo. Like
Mhm,
suppose like I don't know. Let's go over it's like an easy example, right?
mhm.
Like like if we have a issue here, that's like I think we Stack Overflow. Mm, if I have a good example of like a issue which we can share with someone. Uh,
Some of them is just like people sending here big amount of code and ask you to debug it.
yeah, like those are many like yeah, those also popped in here. I remember
So
looking at one where someone sent their like whole code, like a schema to debug why is it not working or like
yes,
why it's
so
nullable.
I'm personally like against even like having discussion for like stuff like that. There is like Stack Overflow and there is like
Yeah.
back channel, and
Okay.
if a person don't bother to make like simple example and like you cannot quickly see the answer. I, I don't think it's like
It's worth it. Okay.
yeah, and some of the issue are related to JavaScript and not like GraphQL per se.
Oh yeah,
So
like this one, where they were asking. I think this one was just like an issue with the schema. I think that's all it was. It
yeah,
something we can't like. Yeah, you mentioned it. You Stack Overflow or
yeah.
some
So
other.
I just copy paste stuff from template, but I
Okay.
general idea is that like, I don't really think this type of issue is good for discussion. Uh, other issues like uh, people like even if somebody run, we have a good example of discussion. I think a GraphQL JIT. If you search for issues,
Yeah.
uh, uh, yeah, so a person created a JIT engine, and
Okay.
I explained him why it should not be part of like
GraphQL.js.
reference implementation. Yeah, because
Okay.
it's like a JIT, it's not possible in other languages. JIT is only possible in usually in dynamic languages.
Oh.
So like in reference implementation, it's like um, I think it's beyond the scope of reference implementation.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's a good topic to discuss and give visibility to this project.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, does GitHub provide a way to automatically convert issues to discussions?
Yes. They have like a button you can click to convert it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I mentioned it. Uh,
And for that, you need to enable discussions, right?
yeah. And I mean, we did enable the discussions
Mhm.
about discussion.
So let's
Where?
run experiment. So I'm not against it. So let's
Okay.
enable discussion as like a thing.
Okay.
You can action item for you is to update issue template, saying if you want to ask a question and provide some good advice on what to do, like
Okay.
simplify your example. Don't post like a
Full-fledged
part of
schema. Yeah.
yeah, like try to do some preparation work. And also if you're not sure it's like GraphQL related issue, it's
Yeah.
better to use Stack Overflow. If you're sure it's like issue with particular library, at least like 90% sure, like when open the discussion. So uh, so you can enable discussions, right?
I
Or
think they're enabled. I just don't know how. Like on GitHub Docs, it says I can convert a issue to a discussion,
Mhm.
which
Well,
I don't see one.
let's start from another thing. Let's start from modifying issue template, saying
Okay.
like saying you
Just
can
like okay.
as experiment. If it's like and I will merge with PR.
Okay.
So so and
Yeah.
also after that we can test how to do that. So actually let's try it
Yeah. Okay.
and see how it goes.
Set up issue templates.
Uh, yeah, like you can write setup discussions on GraphQL.js repo and in braces, you can write like issue template, like code of conduct. Probably you can put somewhere code of conduct and some rules for discussion. I think like I never check them, but I expect GitHub to provide some rules and like some guidance.
Okay.
So for you, and you can actually self not on this repo. You cannot self
Yeah.
assign on this repo. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So
we will try
actually,
something out. Yeah.
yeah. Another thing, I will I will give you commit uh, r- rights on working group repo. So
Okay.
you can merge like agenda items and stuff faster and
Okay.
help to, yeah. I can, okay, I understand what I need to do. I need to add, and I need to run actually, but before
Okay.
run, I will do one more thing. Uh, I will add GraphQL.js working group to, I think I added you to a team called GraphQL.js Triage team.
Yes. Yes.
So I need to make, and you can edit, and you can um, do triaging on multiple groups,
Okay.
on multiple repos, but not GraphQL.js working group.
Okay.
So I will add GraphQL trash, uh, GraphQL.js trash team. So trash, and I will do GraphQL.js maintainers. I think like right access. Yeah. So now you can assign issues, close them, and do stuff on GraphQL.js working group repo.
Okay. Okay.
So, uh, so we can do for the last item, we can action
Assign
item
myself.
is to try, and we can
Okay.
see how it goes.
Yes, I can assign myself now.
Yeah, one thing we can set up stuff and see if people using it, and like after that we can post it in GraphQL.js channel on the Slack, because problem with GraphQL.js channel on the Slack, stuff is disappearing there,
Yeah.
so people cannot search, or like, plus it's like a chat, so it's not
Yeah.
forum.
It's not something Google you can Google and like you
Yeah,
get to that.
yeah. So let's do experiment and basically
Okay.
see how much noise, and if it's like solving an issue or introducing new issues.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you volunteer to be responsible, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
okay, moderate it and like try to like answer stuff.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Uh, Camille, Camille like, didn't join, but Camille, if you're watching that, we waited. And another thing, help a lot for your parallel PR, because it will it speed up things a lot. Uh, like I've, it's it's the thing that help us to have. Uh, since I hit backported it into his PR, we now have like zero TypeScript errors.
Yeah.
So I think it's like your PR, like parts of your PR save us a lot of time and effort, and they actually allow us to attack one problem at a time instead of like have bunch of TypeScript issue we don't know what to do with. So now we see like how you solve it, and some stuff are fine as this, but for some stuff we try to figure out another way to fix it in the main. Yeah. I think we discussed everything on the agenda. So
Yeah, we discussed everything we
yeah.
needed.
So basically, until the next working group.
Yep.
And
See you.
if Camille, if you want to discuss something, or somebody else want to discuss something, you can reach me on Slack. Um, I like always react on GraphQL Slack. Yeah, bye.
See you.
Bye,
Bye.
Mikhail.